All right, going live. Now, there has been some announcements made that we all don't agree with. One voice do not speak for all when there's no consent from all. So let's put this on a public notice that all do not agree for what some voices say. And when there's a public voice going on at a public event, all public voices don't speak for all people. Indigenous people have their own rights. Indigenous people have their own voice, and indigenous people speak for themselves. Any other kind that look nothing like indigenous or original form, they speak for themselves. And in honor of all religions and respect of all religions, there has been a disrespect to all religions, and especially to the Christian faith, especially to the Jewish faith, and especially to the Muslim faith. Why? Because both and three, one, two, three, all three agree that Abraham is the father of their religion. And if those three follow the religion of Abraham, which I'm going to bring to the lesson of the study, we got to drop these Sufas, that Abraham denounced and prohibited human sacrifice and animal sacrifice, women and children. So when we're talking about a war that is going on, this is a religious war. And this religious war is not condoned by Abraham. So what are these religions doing? They are confusing the people. They making the people turn atheists because they don't have the true spiritual teachings of what all this came from. And so I'm finna do a great justice to the people and bring the true knowledge of Abraham to the forefront. All right. Sufa 68, Abraham. Number 1, O people, there is no deity but Allah, the compassionate, the beneficent, the gracious. See, the one creator is compassionate. It wouldn't drop any bombs. It wouldn't go to war. The one creator is beneficent. It has all glory. It doesn't need to conquer, attack, steal, and plunder, and invade indigenous lands. The gracious, the one creator is gracious. For having life, one is to be thankful and grateful. And to destroy and destruct others' life is to be ungrateful for life. 3, all glory and honor be to all and no other. To all us and no other. Let the truth be now revealed concerning the great prophet Abraham. Number 5, may honor and peace be forever upon his name and his memory. Abraham is the first. Let's be clear. Abraham is the first to honor the covenant of Allah. And what was that covenant? To cease the practice of sacrifice. The sacrifice of what? The sacrifice of animals and the sacrifice of children. Now, isn't that going on when we have so-called religious wars? Religious wars? So now the one creator going to war with the one creator? No, this is falsehood. This is imposters. These are imposters disguising themselves under a covenant that they hid in the darkness of what was the true practice. And we finding out today what is the true practice of the father Abraham. Abraham is the first to honor the covenant of Allah by seizing the practice of sacrificing animals and children. Allah don't want no drop of blood, no sacrifice of any living being, any form of Allah's creation, any form of creation by the one creator is not to be destroyed by those beings created by the creator. Number 7, Abraham is the bringer of divine law and civilization to the lands. Now, where have you heard that in your religious study? You have heard of Abraham, but have you heard that Abraham brought the divine law? The divine law is what Abraham stands for. Not these religious iconographies and these religious idolatries. There's only one creator, and that one creator is unseen. And when we're talking about who brought that divine law of that one creator, that is Abraham. And so any land that has a civilization owe their law structure to Abraham. And any law structure, all law is born from the divine law. So this is why Abraham is always in the forefront when it comes to Christianity, Muslim, and Jews. And this is what they don't want the indigenous people to know, because once we know this, we have right of divine use. And nothing can be stopped. Nothing could stop divine rights of use. And once our mind becomes the spirit, because spirit is divine law. And this is why we was told you a spirit man as an indigenous man. Hey, let's get it. Abraham is the bringer of divine law. Now, where have you heard divine law? Nowhere. No public school system, especially no kindergarten, middle school, high school, college, university, private school, Sunday school, Bible study. Why this word has not been heard? Divine law. Why is that law not in the biblical? Divine law, why is that hidden from the biblical? When we have source and date of a pre-existing sourcial text, a textual source that predates King James Version, and divine law ain't in there, but divine law in here, and giving you the game on Abraham, clean and pristine. So let's continue on divine law. What's so important about divine law? Why is the priests and the soothsayers all keeping us away from divine law? Why does the indigenous male and female does not know about divine law? Let's go. Number 8, truly, if one honors the memory of Abraham and all of Abraham's descendants, then honor the covenant. What's the covenant? No sacrifice, no blood dropping, no Cain doing Abel to any living being. Then to honor the covenant. Then to honor the law. What law? Honor divine law. Divine law. Oh, we ain't told about that law. We done told about the law of the Torah, the law of this, the law of that. Well, the law of Moses come from the law of Abraham. The law that Jesus was talking about to come and fulfill was the talking about the law of Abraham. So we know Jesus didn't come from no Abraham. So when it says before Abraham, I am, that is a imposing superimposition bringing spiritual lofty teachings that is divine and supported by divine law down to lesser and lesser cardinal law, where you can drop blood and sacrifice innocent young children, women, all this done by disgusting males, maniacs, in high religious offices. This is a breach of trust. All religious officials, all state officials removed by divine law. You don't speak for the people or public. All does not agree with what the circumstance is. The voice that speaks does not speak for all. Indigenous people have the right to speak for themselves. One voice of public do not speak for all indigenous people. We do not feel the same. We honor divine law. And divine law says this. And who else honors? Abraham and his descendants honors the way of Islam. The way of Esau. 9. By what? Reject the wicked. The wicked practice of sacrificing. Sacrificing any form. Sacrificing animals. 10. Do not waste that which Allah has granted to you as food. 11. Reject the corruption of law. We must reject the corruption. Meaning, don't volunteer. Don't use your will to go with the corruption of law. Reject the corruption of law and honor the way of Esau through Islam. The sacred smoke of the altar of Al-Bakar was to replace the wicked ways of the ancients. And these the same ones, the ancient Aryans, the ancient Aryans. This is the sacred incense of the ancient lands of the Moors. This is the ancient word for Moor. Moab. For Abraham, the Moab, the father of the indigenous people. 14. Given by Allah unto Abraham was to end the ways of sacrifice of animals and children. Given by Allah unto Abraham was to end. So how can religion be going on this time and they still sacrificing? Sacrificing animal, children, women, and men. That's not the way of Abraham. Never was and never be tricked to think so. 15. Allah is pleased by the sacred smoke as this respects his covenant with Abraham. This is why your cannabis is illegal. Because cannabis is the sacred smoke that represents the covenant with Abraham. And we know cannabis brings peace. And they took that out of all religion. Except Islam. We got the keys. And here you see them for your own. 16. No greater injury can be done to Islam than to kill an innocent animal or to kill another living being in the name of our one Creator. Only the most ignorant and disrespectful to the Creator of all things continue in the sacrifice of animals and children and women and all life forms. 18. Thus, the Persians, this is who you call the Jews, The Jews are the Persians. Thus, the Persians who hate the one creator, Allah, and who hate all of creation, do still practice the sacrifice of animals and young children. And here we have it in 2023. You see it live and direct. The public front. And they're going to cover it up with religion. And then use Abraham. This must stop. Reject the corruption of law. 19. They do for power and control. These Persians, they do for power. This religious war is only for power and control, knowing not the true origin of their own practice. 2 more, bear with me, and we end it. 20, nor the true name or nature, neither do they know the true name or nature of the demons to which they worship. We are now looking at demon worship in 2023 by looking at this filth. Reject this filth and return to the pure Abraham way, the divine law, and adhere to the covenant of no sacrifice and no killing of any life form. In 21, and we out. Do not therefore be tricked again by the Persian upon the sacrifice of animals, and honor the name of Abraham in respecting the sacred smoke. We out here. Peace and love, and K.O.S.